Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background, and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy: How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is about the romantic compatibility between ENFJs and ESTPs. I think most people have asked themselves the question, what are the characteristics that makes or breaks a relationship, especially long term? And when it comes to a romantic relationship, I think a lot of people might be challenged in that area. So I think that it's good to look at these personality types and determine if they would be a good match. So let's look at what ENFJs and ESTPs have in common. Interesting enough, because the ENFJ obviously is an intuitive and the ESTP is a sense of perceiver, they both tend to be open-minded and they like things that are different and new. So in other words, they will enjoy the fact that each other wants to explore something that is not traditional. So would be very different than, say, if the ESTP was matched with a censor judger, because literally they're opposite. So that will be a positive aspect of their relationship. The other point also is that if you look at the first three function settings, that they share two of them. So you'll see that the ESTP has extroverted feeling as its third function and has extroverted sensing as its first function. Interesting enough, when you come to ENFJs, is that they have extroverted feeling as its first function and extroverted sensing as their third function. So what you'll see is that although the ESTP is left brain dominant, so it's a masculine energy, but they tend to have good people skills because they need to be good at selling. So they need to understand the psychology of their customers. And obviously the ENFJ, being very much a feeler, is very good in terms of picking up subtleties about relationships, because extrovert feeling is what they're really focused on. So in other words, they will have in common. And obviously the ENFJ is that person who is action oriented that way. So they like to get things accomplished, and the ESTP is purely about action in the moment. So they will appreciate that about each other. Now, obviously, these two individuals are quite different in other areas. So where they are going to be very challenged would be the fact that obviously one is a feeler and the one is a thinker. So the one is very much about feelings and wanted to bond, and really the ENFJ would be the type of person who will sacrifice the truth or their NI, which is the second function, or even their own well-being to get along with others. And by contrast, the STP is not like that. It's very practical. These are people who really look at the internal logic of any, let's say, thought or situation, because they have introverted thinking as its second function. So it has to make sense, in other words. So the ENFJ will look at the ESTP and feel that they are not kind enough, or they're maybe rough on the edges or lack heart, and the ESTP will look at the ENFJ and say, well, you're not logical enough, you don't stand up for what you believe in, you need to be maybe a lot more assertive. So that will be an issue in terms of their relationship. The other aspect also, the ESTP, in terms of what type of mate they are the playmate. So they want a partner who is fun, someone who wants to go on adventures with them. They're the type of people, obviously they are entrepreneurs. So this is different from the ENFJ, who is the soulmate type. So they're looking for the one who's going to be with them for the rest of their life. They tend to be like the type of person who be very faithful. The ESTP is open to, let's say, different types of relationship. They have short-term relationship or even one-night stands, whereas the ENFJ would really not be interested in that. So they're really looking for a stable, long, very monogamous type of relationship. The other aspect also is that their career choices. The ENFJ wants something that is more stable, is not really into risk taking, whereas the ESTP is the quintessential entrepreneur. So these are people who are going to be working like 15 hours a day, 6 days a week for years to build their business, because that's what drives them. They like the challenge of making it and be able to break through a lot of hurdles, whereas the ENFJ is not like that. They like stability. They like to bond. They prefer to spend their time building their like relationship, like personal relationships, than business relationships. So that will be an issue. I would say that in terms of them being compatible, I don't think it's a good a match whatsoever, because obviously when you look at their function stack, the fact that they're different, like one is a feeler, one is a thinker, one is an intuitive feeler. It means that they're very much about in terms of the theme of their life, it's about spirituality and meaning, and the ESTP, the theme of their life is movement and freedom. So they really will not be able to meet each other's needs. And the other aspect, although the ENFJ is officially an extrovert, but it has to do with whether the person's energy is lower or higher than people around them. And the ENFJ has one of the best energies. So it means that they will behave more like an introvert than an extrovert. By contrast, the ESTP likes having people around, maybe having people over, even going out on a really good basis, because they feel really sort of like galvanized by having others around them. So for all these reasons, I would say that this is a very poor match. I would not recommend that. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this romantic compatibility analysis by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Remember to click on the notification bell to let you know when I'm going to be making other videos. And also remember to subscribe to my channel. And we will talk soon.